Hi all and welcome back to a new video on a Wednesday morning. I bet you were probably expecting one on a Wednesday morning, but I decided to get into one. I haven't done a video in quite a while, and I've decided, looking at other guys that do YouTube videos, you look at obviously Upping the Ante on the Racing Post YouTube channel, which I think is a class show, I must say. It's probably one of my favourites out there. I decided that to go along, obviously I did my bets back in my 7 Antepost Cheltenham bets back in early September, which was more of a speculative kind of prod with the season to come. But now it is the 20th of November, things are beginning to take a little more shape, and I suppose I'm going to do a similar enough thing to like Upping the Ante or like other people, where you're putting together a bit of an Antepost portfolio, I suppose, of selections and ideas going forward, but also I suppose it serves as a good medium for Cheltenham debate, which I know from this channel I've had great success with you guys kind of interacting with this channel, which I appreciate so much. But I do realise it doesn't take a genius to see that it's the Cheltenham videos that really drive the interest. So that's where I'm looking at you guys to either challenge my views, go with my views, I don't know. You guys can kind of make it up as you see fit over the weeks while I give a selection. Sometimes it'll be a selection, sometimes it'll be 2 selections, but hopefully almost every week. And starting off today, we have 2 more selections to add to the 7. Now, we're not forgetting the 7, but we do need to forget about some of them. From the 7, what I see is 2 of them are very much live and are very much good bets to have in the bank, which was Min at 12 to 1 for the Ryanair Chase and Ante-post at 7 to 1 for the Queen Mother Champion Chase. Now, Min's around 8s now for the Ryanair, and Ante-post is a ludicrous 7 to 2. I couldn't advise backing him, to be honest, at 7 to 2, but 7 to 1 was a decent price at the time. Then we've got the stragglers. We've got 0-10 for the JLT at 33s. Don't know whether he'll get there or not. The ground's not going to be great for him this winter. Sam's profile for the RSA, haven't seen him yet, and there's been rumours that he's going to stay hurdling. Constantinople for the Triumph, who's now being trained in Australia on the flat. So that went pear-shaped. I got the wrong one completely for the Aidan O'Brien horses to go hurdling. I thought he'd be the one. He wasn't. What else was there? Elixir de Nuts for the Arkle. Still think that was a good bet at 33 to 1. But he's being trained for the Champion Hurdle now just because he missed the Supreme, which is a bit of a downer, but there's not much you can do. That's what the big risk is, taking bets on in September. And Santa Rosa for the Mayor's Novice Hurdle, which I'm really quite concerned about, because I thought that was a good bet at 20s, but she's now not in the betting whatsoever, which indicates that obviously something's wrong. So I don't know, I don't know whether any of you guys have any news on Santa Rosa. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's not too bad. But that doesn't look brilliant at the moment. So 2 very good bets. The other 5 a bit wishy-washy at the moment. We have a few that still could take place, and then we have a few that are definitely not. Constantinople will not be running in the Triumph Hurdle. So I'm trying to improve that now, and we're trying to pick horses that hopefully will get to races and are at decent prices. You don't want me sitting here on the 20th of November and giving you a 4 to 1 shot. I think we all know Envoy Alain has got a massive chance of winning a race at the Cheltenham Festival. I wouldn't kind of bet against it, because I think he will, but I just don't think it's a brilliant bet, at the prices that he is, to be honest. So we do have the 2, and the 2 start off in the Stayers Hurdle, and the Stayers Hurdle's an odd one, because you're there kind of probably thinking, well, Paisley Park's just going to win the Stayers Hurdle, isn't he? And that's probably the case. Let's be honest with ourselves. He's 5 to 2 favourite to go and regain his crown, and I see no reason to suggest why he wouldn't, to be honest. But what I can't get over is how bad this division really is, though. When you do look at it, you look down through the market, there's a lot of horses that either won't run or are just not very good near the top of the market. You know, obviously Bacardi's was good, beating Apple's Jade in the Liz Mullen. I couldn't back him long term, though he's let me down quite a lot. He's the type of horse that if he got to the Stayers hurdle, I wouldn't put anyone against him. I've backed him each way the last couple of years. 1 year he would have collected if not for falling at the last year. He's a bit disappointing. But the one I'm siding for here, and it is out of trust, it is out of I suppose hope that this horse can return the same level he is Pen Hill at 16 to 1. I know a lot of you guys are there going, oh, don't be backing injured horses. I get that. But I don't think it was a massive injury last year. They just got the tactics wrong. They waited, and then like 10 days before the festival, there was a little niggle, and suddenly he's out. And that was it. And it was a bit of a car crash. Now, if you watched Upping the Ante this week on the Racing Post, you'll have heard David Jennings say that this horse is going to be campaigned a little differently, which means that he's going to be running sometimes over the winter, which is good. Hopefully starting off in the Hatton's Grace in 2 weeks' time, which I can't wait to attend. But my idea behind this is that Pen Hill is 16 to 1. Now, if he runs any semblance of a good race in the Hatton's Grace, which is over 2-4, which wouldn't be ideal, if he's farmed out the back and runs on and comes third, second maybe, or even wins, this horse will be 6 to 1 second favourite like that. And because the rest of the market is so poor. Like, it's if the cap fits. Like, surely he can't win a Stayers hurdle. Bacardi's is in there. There's horses that just will not run in the race. And I see Paisley Park as being an exceptional staying hurdler. Don't get me wrong about that. But I see Pen Hill as being a fairly special staying hurdler in his own right. And I see the rest of them not. I just think it's a poor division. The fact that the World's End was able to win that race up at Wetherby a few weeks ago. The World's End, he's a nice horse. But jeez, that race was useless. And it was a grade 2. Like, I couldn't believe it. You've got it, you know what I mean, Harry, who's been around for centuries at this stage, still coming second. So it's a bad division. It's one that's exploitable, I think, in an each-way perspective. I've come to the conclusion that Benny de Jew will not run in this race. She will run in the Mare's Hurdle against Honeysuckle, and I think she will beat Honeysuckle, but that's for another day. So I don't think she's going to run here, and therefore Pen Hill's your one. And he is a forgotten horse because of the injuries and all that. 16 to 1 though, it's too big for me to let go. So 16 to 1 for Pen Hill in the Stayers hurdle is my first in the old Antepost portfolio bets. The other one comes in the cross-country chase. Now you might turn off now thinking he's an absolute nutter. He's putting something up in the cross-country chase. And even worse than that, it's an 11-year-old in the cross-country chase. Because there has been this almighty hype job on Yanworth after he won on Sunday. Now, I was at Punchestown. It was a good effort. It was good to see Yanworth back to some semblance of form. But let's put it realistically here. It was a 3-mile race. Okay, he's run over 3 mile before. He's won over 3 mile before. The Cheltenham race is over 3.7. He was giving Ballyboker Bridge £2. £2. Ballyboker Bridge is... No, he's a brilliant horse. He's a grand horse. But, like, he's Ballyboker Bridge. And he's 12 years old. And he beat him 2 lengths for £2. And Never Rusher Gone, who he only beat by a length and a bit, was giving Yanworth £5. The race conditions boggle me, to be honest. But I just can't have Yanworth at 6 to 1 for the cross country. People are getting interested in this market because there's this idea that Tiger Roll mightn't get there. I get that. And if he does get there, he will win the race. If he doesn't get there, though, it's a very open race. Again, not that many great horses in there. And the Cheltenham race this year, on the weekend, was won by an Emmanuel Cléou horse called Diesel Dallier, who is 16-1 for the cross-country chase. And I do like his chances to a certain extent, but I'd be more taken by his older stablemate who came second, Urgent de Gragan, who's best price 14-1 with Betfred. Because he gave Diesel Dallier £22 in that race and finished within 4 lengths of him. £22! I thought it was a phenomenal effort from the old lad. He runs over these cross-country chases more than anyone. Like, he's an absolute stalwart regular. I didn't think he jumped as well as he usually does on the weekend, to be honest, and yet still came into the race travelling like a dream. He is a bit like that. He does travel very well on the bridle. He doesn't tend to find too much off it. But there's not that many stout stayers that are going to run in this race this year, apart from, obviously, if Tiger Roll turns up. Yanworth isn't like a Josie's Orders. Like, Josie's Orders needed like 5 miles, and therefore always used to pip Urgent de Gragan on the run-in. Yanworth's not going to be like that. He's either going to have won the race, which I think is unlikely, or he's going to fade out of it and do like what a lot of those class horses do and don't quite see out the 3-7. I just think he's a bit of a bulletproof option. I think it's more than likely, I'd say it's 85% likely he runs in the race, and if he runs in the race, I don't see him falling. I do see him placing, and 14-1 is a big price for me, because if Tiger Roll goes, which let's hope, you know, touching wood here, that he doesn't, because it would be the best for the race and for the festival if Tiger Roll turns up. But if he doesn't, Urgent de Gragan becomes an 8-1 second favourite, or a 7-1 third favourite, or something like that, and suddenly 14-1 is a massive price. So there you go, there's your 2 Antepost selections for this week in my Antepost betting portfolio for the Cheltenham 2020 Festival. So to recap, Penhill at 16-1 for the Stayers Hurdle, and Urgent de Gragan at 14-1 for the Glenfarclas Cross Country Chase. As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel down below. It really does mean a lot to me. We're nearing 700 subscribers, which is absolutely phenomenal. Can't thank you enough for your support. And as always with the Cheltenham videos, I do encourage discussion. Get your ideas down below. Who do you think is the value tips at this time of the season? Who do you think is flying under the radar? Is Penhill going to come back? And could he give Paisley Park a shape-up? Let me know.